Good morning, everyone. I should say afternoon. I think it's technically afternoon. Look what I just found. I love Peeler Park down here in the Nashville area. And I'm going to Sabbath lunch with some friends. And I knew I was going to be at their house a little early, so I decided to drive around a little bit. And I came down this road over here and found another entranceway to Peeler Park. Never even knew this existed. The orange shows primitive, but that's where I am. And it'll show you this green down through here, which I might be willing to hike. Typically where I come in is down here, and you hike back, and then you can do this loop that's right in here. And it's actually from here out, around the loop twice, and back out is 3 miles. But I never knew this other existed. The orange, guys, the green is what you would hike on. It would be like the gravel path, but the orange, it says it's a primitive hiking path, so basically it's just grass. I may hike down here and show you all, but I'm really excited about this. May have to come out here and try it. I've avoided Peeler a little bit because of the fact that there was a lady that was kind of abducted back here, or out on Peeler, and it is way out here, but it's not that far. I also have to show you how gorgeous is the sky today, guys. Look at those clouds. Absolutely fantastically beautiful. It's just gorgeous today up there. Ugh. So, great day. I have on a dress, so I'm going to walk down here about this far to show you guys this, and then head back, because there's no way. I mean, look, really? Dressed in those shoes? I don't see hiking happening. But this has got to be the primitive path that they're talking about. I see chiggers in your future if you walk down that. And this is more your hard surface. But you can see where it says hiking only. Alright, well, I will find out what the name of this road is, and I will see if my friends would be willing, or one of them would be willing to come over here, or my mom even, and check this out with me, because I don't want to do it by myself. Yay for exploring new areas. I'm going to give you guys like a 360. Here we go. Just gorgeous. So that's the trailhead area, guys. Really beautiful. And look, Nashville International is not that far away. I think you guys can see the airplane that's up there. Although I don't see it on my screen. There, now you can see it. Nashville International is not that far away, so these come over the park all the time. I think some people might be a little bit paranoid out here in the country. What do you think? On my way out to my lovely friend's house. Beautiful, huh, guys? Craving. Step 1. Yummy. Mix well. Put in dish and spread out well. Put it into a single thin layer like this. Step 2. Try not to do what I did and pull it out of the bottom. Put in bowl. Add milk. Then blend for 3 minutes. Start timer. And blend. Take filling. Fill up on crust. Put on top of crust. Filling onto crust. Spread out into a thin layer till it looks like that. Cover with plastic wrap Pull tight so you don't get too much of the filling on the plastic wrap itself. Then, put cheesecake in fridge for a few hours and wait. Clean up dishes. Take out of fridge, pull back plastic wrap and cut, slice. Put slice on plate and eat. Yum! Sorry guys, I didn't videotape us walking. I didn't videotape us walking today because I didn't know if we were going to get rained on and if we were going to get our full mile in. We did manage to do it just before this has arrived overhead, guys. So, as you can see, and hopefully you could hear there, we got some thunderstorms coming. And guys, I think I might have killed, oh, I hope it comes back. I'm about to water it. But yeah, that does not look promising or sound promising. But we got our mile in. Okay guys, so I have promised, and while I'm not really hungry, this dish holds really well, and I feel like I should definitely make it for you guys because I've talked about it for like 2 days and it still sounds good. So what I'm going to make is Brazilian chicken is what it's called. I'm going to show you the ingredients first. In order to show you, typically I don't do it in a wok, but in order to show you guys kind of what it looks like and how it goes, I'm going to do it in a wok today. Hopefully it'll still turn out okay. Typically you just do it in a saucepan, much like the large one in the back there. But like I said, because of the fact that I wanted to show you guys, I wanted it to be a little more spread out, please ignore the little droplets. They look brown on camera, but they are actually not brown here, so I don't know, I don't get it. Alright, so what you'll need to make Brazilian chicken is some kind of tomatoes. They can be diced canned tomatoes. I like to use Romas, and I use several. And I'll cut those up while the chicken is cooking. When you do this, I suggest you get the tenderloins. Mainly because they're smaller. Otherwise, you need to take a chicken breast and just cut it into pieces until they're about this size. I'm not going to cut these up into bite-sized pieces until after they've cooked. So you need chicken, and you need as much as you think you're going to use. This is actually, let's see if I can find out, this is just over a pound. So you need chicken, a pound of chicken, some Roma tomatoes. You need a can of this. Now, media crema or table cream comes in a very small container. This is just 7.6 ounces. Sometimes you find this in the Mexican aisle over with the authentic Mexican stuff. Sometimes you find this in the grocery store next to the evaporated milk, but it is table cream. Trust me, it'll be good. I add peas to mine. I don't need extra sodium, so I get the no salt peas. You also will have, you need garlic powder, black pepper, oregano, some salt, and some parsley flakes. Now the first thing you do to make this recipe is you're going to take all the chicken, first you're going to preheat your pan. Now I put olive oil in here, and I have my very own atomizer for my olive oil because I like it to spray. I don't necessarily want it to just douse it all in there. I know some people do. I try to kind of hold back some on the oil. So I have this lovely, I got it at a kitchen store. It's just an atomizer where this unscrews. I put the oil down in there, and then you just push down in order to get the pressure to get it to spray like Pam or like any cooking spray. But it is actually olive oil, so it's actually better for you. Going to heat up your olive oil, but you're going to be careful not to heat it up too far because everyone knows that olive oil has a lower burning point and you don't want to burn it. Let it heat for a minute or two. Then get your chicken out of your package and just put it in here. We're going to cook the chicken all the way through. Okay guys, so this is kind of different for me. It won't take very long for the chicken to cook. What you're going to do is you are going to cook the chicken with the spices, so you're going to put in some parsley flakes, Yeah, that's not going to work for me. I'm going to have to use the other side, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not that patient. So you're going to add in some parsley. Just, you want it in there while it's cooking. A little bit of black pepper. Smell the black pepper. It smells good. A little bit of garlic, just kind of to taste for you. I don't like a huge amount of garlic, so I'm not going to add a huge amount in. And guys, I'm sorry, but all of this is kind of by sight, which is why I'm trying to show you how much is getting added each time. A little bit of oregano. Okay. So you can kind of see. And a tiny amount or just a dash of salt. Once again, I don't need a lot of salt. You should flavor your chicken just kind of to taste. If you get a little too much seasoning, take heart, because of the fact that it will, it's going to be diluted to a certain extent. Now while you're waiting for the chicken to cook, you want to go ahead and cut up your tomatoes so that they're prepped. Wash them, cut them up, make sure that they're prepped and ready to go. We're getting closer. Okay guys, when it gets to this point, and you can tell that the chicken is cooked the whole way through, really when you kind of think that your chicken strips are cooked, you need to cut it into bite-sized pieces like this. Now you can do this before you put it in here to cook, but I like to, with those strips, I typically do it after because I can cut it with something similar to this. Then you're going to leave the heat up. At this point, oh sorry guys, maybe y'all were a little steamy. At this point, what you're going to do is you're going to add your chopped tomatoes or your diced tomatoes or any kind of canned tomato you choose straight into here. And you're going to let it cook for about 10 minutes. Now I use Roma tomatoes because they don't fall apart like some of your Better Boy or Big Boy tomatoes do. They really hold their shape, but they add the flavor in. Because I know it is not going to take me as long to heat up peas, I'm not going to add them in at first. I'll probably add them in with about 4 minutes left. So at about 6 minutes in, I'll add these in just so they can heat properly. But if you wanted to, you could absolutely add them at this point. What is happening at this stage is that all those spices that you put in on your chicken are now melding with these tomatoes. When you're making this recipe, make sure you drain it really well. Once you have added your peas, you're just going to let everything kind of cook and heat through and all the spices go together. And if y'all can see, this is a pretty large wok. Here's my hand. My hand is not that big. There's a good amount of food in here. So it will actually last for several days. And much like chili and like tomato or vegetable soup and things like that, it gets better like the next day as the flavors develop. Okay, so after it's cooked for about 10 minutes and it's all cooked through in your tomatoes, see how my tomatoes are falling apart there? What you're going to do is you're going to take it off the heat and you're going to set it aside for about 5 minutes and let it cool just a little bit. So we're just going to start the timer here. Okay, and we're going to let it cool for 5 minutes. When that 5 minutes is up and it's cooled off a bit and some of the steam has come out of it, which is how she described it to me, you are going to mix it a little so that like it cools a little faster. So every once in a while you need to just kind of shuffle it around and let it get up. Not all of the liquid came out because of course the tomatoes let go of their liquid. But imagine if you did that and you had all the, ooh, sorry guys, all of the liquid from the peas, it would just be too much. I would be careful on how much you mix it, especially if you use fresh tomatoes, but you're going to let it just cool for about 5 minutes. And then you're going to add the cream. Now, guys, I'm going to be really honest. This cream, not low calorie. It's like for a tablespoon, it's 40 calories. That's actually my cheat sheet from where my friend emailed me her recipe. You can use 1 or 2 cans of these. I usually just use 1, but I'll put it in here, take a look at it. If I need to, I have more in the house. I usually keep it in the house now. But I will be honest, if you go to find that media crema, good luck. The people at the store most likely are not going to know where to find it, so that's the reason I told you before. You find it either A, in the Mexican food aisle, the authentic Mexican food area, or B, typically you can find it in with the evaporated milks. So, here's, we're just going to let it sit. It has about another 3 minutes, and then I'll be back. I'm so sorry, guys. There is one ingredient I forgot to tell you that you will need, and that is rice to go with this recipe, because what we're cooking actually sits on a bed of rice. You can use any kind of rice you like. I'm pretty sure it would be good with any of it. I choose jasmine rice because it clumps together beautifully, and it makes it really easy to eat with these ingredients just kind of piled on top. So I usually use jasmine rice, but y'all use whatever kind you like. I also have brown rice in my cabinet. I have regular minute rice, but for this I like jasmine rice. See, guys, I'll prove it. I have long ground brown rice in there. I just don't think it goes with this recipe quite as well. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes, and I've opened my cream. This is what it looks like. It's kind of a white consistency. It should jiggle like that. If you see any other color other than just like a white cream, you need to get a different can. So, what you're going to do is dump it in. And then you just spread it around in your ingredients like this. That cream had settled a little bit. It's good until 2:15 though, so we know it's good. At this stage of the game, because you just dumped in this cream and it may be a little cooler than what you'd like to eat, what I suggest you do is just reheat it briefly. So put it back on your burner, and I would just bring it back up to a good warm state, and then you put it on top of rice. Okay, I like to reheat it until you see things like this right here. You can see that it's bubbling just a little bit. Just let it heat just all the way back up so that what you're serving is good and warm, and that you have, I don't think you guys can see the steam, but so you have steam coming back off of it. Okay, guys, and this is what it looks like when it's done. You can see our tomatoes, our chicken, our peas, the cream is on everything, and you see the white rice under there. And guys, this is one of the best things you will eat ever, especially if you spice it correctly. It is so incredibly good. Okay, well, that is my Brazilian chicken dish that I wanted to share with you guys. Bye. Okay, guys, so I'm going to eat that Brazilian chicken. So good. And it is late. I actually made it really late because I had a huge lunch with my friends today. And so I'm going to end the vlog here. Tip of the day, always ask, because I did not tell you all this, Emma got nipped at the park by a shelter dog, a rescue dog. And if I had known that, I wouldn't have let Emma have gotten quite so close. But she's okay, which is, I'm very thankful for that. So that's my tip of the day. Always, if you have a super excited puppy, kind of find out what's going on before I'm usually very friendly with Emma, and Emma is a very friendly puppy. So just make sure you know where the other animal, kind of like what their background is, and if it's shady. You might want to handle things a little differently. I wasn't given the information today. So that's my tip of the day. I hope everyone had a fantastic Saturday. Hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. If you know of any friends who might like to watch my vlog, I would love to have some more subscribers. Please share with them. And I will see you all tomorrow. Good night.